Welcome to another video. This is Joseph, and today we're taking a really quick look at this HardCandy Cases ShockDrop iPhone 5 case and do a bit of an unboxing review. So this is what the packaging itself looks like. You've got a little bit of information about it on the back and how it's designed to actually go on your phone. And though this is for the iPhone 5, it will still work with the iPhone 5S, except for the fingerprint sensor on the back, which we're going to go ahead and take a look at all of that really quickly. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look at the case. So here's what the case itself looks like. It's designed to be the most protective case from HardCandy Cases. And I do have to say I appreciate it. Thank you very much for sending out the cases. And what we're going to do is go ahead and disassemble it right now so we can see what it looks like on the phone itself. One thing I do like is just the way it is right now. It doesn't weigh too much. It reminds me of the LifeProof case feels like outside without the phone inside. So it's relatively light, and I do like the materials that it is made out of. So just going based off of what it feels like, the silicone they used is a nice soft touch, not one of those sticky, really annoying kinds. It's the kind of silicone you'd normally find in one of those just regular silicone cases. So it's pretty cool material. Here's what it looks like, and this is the way it breaks down. So this little tiny ring over here goes right inside here to be able to cover up the flash ring. So not cover up the flash ring, but protect the flash ring itself. And once it's in there, you usually put your phone in it. So that belongs right in there. You just want to make sure it's nice and snug. Everything else is covered around. This is that silicone, designed in California, made in China. As you can see, the little tiny markings inside. I actually like this material. I will have to say that. That's one thing I like about this case. Then you've got the front plastic cover, which, it's not exactly an OtterBox or a LifeProof, but it does the trick of actually giving it some structure when it's on there, so pretty okay. There is a plastic screen protector, and as for the clarity of the device underneath it, aside from the fingerprints, which I do have, and as you can see, it snaps in just like that. It actually snaps around the phone first with this cover, and then you put on this part afterwards. The home button is nicely covered and protected here. It's actually kind of hard to get to without that silicone on there. So the fingerprint sensor for the iPhone 5S would be covered up. And as for the clarity, it's okay. I mean, it's still not as good as having it naked, but there are clearer, more see-through screen protectors out there in the world. This wouldn't be one of those very clear ones, although it is still protective. We're going to go ahead and put it on in here now. Make sure that that little flash ring is snug. You basically go all the way around it like this, snap it in. Just be careful not to rip it and pull on it too much, because, you pull it too much and it will probably just rip on you. But we should be able to get it in. You just kind of smooth it around. A few cases are designed like this. I know the Survivor case by Griffin. And then once you go ahead and tighten it up like that, you've got the ports accessible here. This is covered up. The volume buttons are covered up, and it is kind of a firm press to that. Firm on the top also. The top home button is not as firm as the volume buttons. It's really more of an awkward situation because these are just square cutouts, and it's really not that raised, so you have to kind of find the volume buttons. And then, of course, all the other ports are covered. On the bottom, you've got a little flap that comes down to plug it in. Another flap for the headphone jack. This part over here, I can see the reason why you want to have it cut like this, because you might just want your headphones plugged in, but I don't think it's the smartest way to design it, because in here you can see you've got places where it could be vulnerable to wear and tear and possibly ripping. But aside from that, I like the feel of the case inside the hand. It's comfortable. I like the feel of the material. It's kind of a soft touch, and when you do put it into your pocket, it doesn't really stick. And I do have to say, I really like the way it looks with the phone inside it. it is a very cool case. If anything, this case looks really cool. I like the little green accent. So for style points, I will give it 10. And for feel of the material itself on the outside, this kind of silicone itself is very nice, high grade material. As for the plastic rim and the plastic screen protector, not so much. Not really so much. And of course, the annoying thing is the fingerprint sensor is covered up by this little thing over here. So unless you really want to do one of these, at least you can open this flap up. So it's not really compatible, but if you are okay with being slightly annoyed at this, you just open that and you can try and get your finger in there just to do that. So that's what it looks like with the phone inside. There is a bit of a gap. There's an air bubble gap. You might not be able to see it or hear it, but it is there. It is present. So when you do put your finger on it, you'll feel like there's a little bubble gap in there instead of it being flush against the glass, which I don't really like that. Personally, I would probably take the screen protector and rip it out. If I had this case, I would give it a good thumbs up for the couple things I was talking about earlier, but I would have to say I would prefer a life-proof case just because, well, I mean, it's waterproof versus just drop-proof. Although I do have to say this is nice. It is protective. All in all, it's a good little case, but if I were to have it personally, I would probably just rip out the screen protector and put one on the glass itself, like one of the Zag Invisible Shields, just because I like clarity, and I don't like anything interfering with the touch on my phone. So I would not be able to put up with having something between there with that air gap, at least not sanely. So I would end up probably just ripping this entire screen protector out, and then you'd have a really awesome case just for drops and protection. But that's the review for the HardCandy Cases ShockDrop. Thanks very much for watching. Yes, you know what, actually? I wonder if I'm going to rip out the screen protector and see what it looks like. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, I actually am ripping out the screen protector just because it was driving me crazy. Granted, it will slightly affect the integrity of the case just because now you don't have anything covering the screen. So there's the screen protector. I just removed that. Then I'll go ahead and put it back inside the case right now and see what it looks like. So now there's nothing covering the front, which I think is pretty cool. I'll go ahead and put this little flash ring, so you got to be careful about putting it in properly. My head might just get in the way here because this is a kind of an annoying process. But once it's in, it's really nice and snug. Now we'll put this inside. Alright, so as you can see, as soon as I finished getting this in there, I did remove the screen protector, and boy, I gotta say, not only does it look a whole lot better, but boy does it feel a lot better. Not having that little tiny interruption in between there is great. I would just put my own personal screen protector on there if I had one, then I'd be done with it right there. So now it's your choice. Personally, I chose to take off the screen protector just because of the fact that it was kind of annoying having it in between there, and you can see the quality difference with it and without it. It's a lot clearer without the screen protector in between there. So that is my 2 cents about the ShockDrop case.